Here are the patch notes for the February Star Wars Battlefront February 23rd update. Let's start off with the Jakku DLC has now been patched into the game, so you can now delete the one you downloaded out of your hard drive because it's now physically, or into the game main install whatever stuff. So delete it, save some room. That's pro. Next up, we got the new map Twilight on Hoth. It's added to all game modes. It looks like. Yeah, Turning Point also. So yeah, all of them. Speaking of Turning Point now has every map. That's a big map is now in it. So that's fucking amazing. So now we can play all your Walker Assault Supremacy maps on Turning Point also, not just the Graveyards of the Giants thing. So yeah. You also have a new survival mission in the Ice Caves added to survival missions. And in the background loading screen of the main menu, there's now a Gonk droid going around gonking apparently. So I'll have to go see what that is and make fun of that. You can now turn off the game. You can now turn off music throughout the entire game when you turn off it in the settings menu. They added a film grain setting slider in the video menu. I'll have to check that out. It sounds slightly interesting. Next up, we have Primary's weapons damage increased against vehicles by 10%. The bowcaster got a slight buff. The explosive damage increased from 10 to 15 per projectile. The explosive radius decreased from 3 to 2.5 meters. The full charge direct hit now does 40 per projectile. It used to do 20. Now, and a normal direct hit increased from 20 to 30 per projectile, thus making it maybe usable again. Barrage, it got buffed also, and each little mini grenade now does 50 instead of 55 damage. The cooldown has been reduced from 35 seconds to 30 seconds when upgraded. The first volley of the grenades no longer disappears when you use a card refresh power-up. So you can shoot two of them now back to back, and the first one won't magically disappear. Homing shot got slightly buffed also. Lock time is decreased from 1.5 to 1.2 seconds, which makes me sad. And players that are on the turret now receive a notification on screen when locked onto. It says the ATGAR turret. I'm blanking. I don't know which turret that is. There's two different turrets. I'm blanking. We have Ion Torpedo. Speed increase from 350 to 380 meters per second, and the turning angle has been increased from 120 to 125 in order to hit air vehicles easier. This has been a huge fucking problem. As you just shoot them, you can literally just spam them at air vehicles and do nothing. So that's a huge bonus. The Tusken Raider rifle got a huge buff. This gun is going to be probably beta status right now because you're seeing gameplay right here of this. This is the struggle of what it was like to use before this patch. I can't wait to use it now. So what they did, they made the movement speed while aiming and increased by 40%. So almost 50, or just 40. Let's go 40%. Let's not try to do math. So that's fucking huge. And then we have the bullet speed is increased from 300 to 450. That's nasty because I put up a previous video mentioning bullet velocity and speed times and how it definitely needed to be touched. And look at that. They did it. I called it. Shout out to Gangster and 7, the smartest dude ever. So I'm joking on that, but MLG program. So we got the pulse rifle. Movement speed while aiming has been decreased by 30%. That got nerfed. Good, not enough though, because nobody uses the pulse rifle to running gun like that. So whatever. And the orbital strike bug that doesn't let you shoot it sometimes has been fixed. So that's a huge bonus. The A-Wings finally got nerfed because their glitched ass or just really tiny hitbox size have been changed, and they now properly take damage when colliding into ATSTs while having the shield active. So hopefully all that cliched A-Wing bullshit is finally going to be fixed out of the game. When you're in Slave 1, Rebels can now see when your shield is active and vice versa, you know what I mean. The ATST T-47 airspeeders kills with a missile while firing the primary cannons at the same time, now properly award a kill, previously registered at a suicide. AT-AT fixed a bug where the orbital strike would not show you a reticle sometimes. That was a fucking huge issue I've had all the time, and that's finally glad that got fixed. Players will no longer receive a return to the area when on Graveyard of Giants during Turning Point when a control point is captured. Next up, we have the pre-round timer is lowered from 30 to 20 seconds. The Walker Assault fixed power-up spawns on the Solus map. The AT-AT health, there's a big one. AT-AT health has been increased by 18% on Outpost Beta, 8% on Judland Waste, 20% on Endor, 4% on Solus, and 5% on the Graveyard of Giants map. So the Rebel Scum will have a harder time of winning now. So it's a buff for the Empire, so that's huge. Next up, Walker starts spawning in as a Imperial hero after the AT-AT just passes. The second set of uplinks no longer despawns one of the AT-ATs. I haven't seen that glitch. That must have been fucking funny as shit to see. Next up, Walker Assault. The second AT-AT no longer bumps into the second one on the Solus map. I've had this glitch happen in literally the day the game came out, and I'm glad it took them what are we at, 4 months now to fix that? LOL. Droid run now shows the correct notification to all players if someone is killed while trying to claim the droid. Droid run improves spawn zones on the Dune Sea Exchange. Supremacy fixed power-up spawns on all the maps. Same thing with individual spawn points. Heroes vs Villains planted turrets on Sea. Dune Exchange now does appear between rounds. That must have been funny. Hero Hunt improves spawn zones on ice caves, and Fighter Squadron players are now protected while spawning on Graveyards of Giants. Next up, we have, let's go with hero changes. Now, here's some big hero changes. Heroes no longer get stuck in stunned animation state. This was big and it finally got fixed, thank you. Princess Leia Endor outfit added to the game, so if you haven't seen that, she's like got a green parka on, that type shit. It's nothing special, but it is just kind of cool to see them in new outfits if you've been playing this game a shit ton. So yeah, it's kind of cool. Princess Leia's Trooper Bane attack now only knocks back primary targets, not nearby enemies. I didn't know of that as a thing, but apparently it was. Luke Skywalker's they increase the Saber Rush's damage against other heroes from 2% to 6 or 8%. I don't understand how that works, but whatever. So that's a huge thing, because that Saber Rush attack felt like it did no damage in Heroes vs. Villains, and apparently it didn't do apparently it did no damage, so that's a huge bonus. Thank you. And then the lightsaber swing radius is reduced from 0.3 to 2.5 meters. It says here only for Luke, though, so I don't think it affects Vader. So, I don't know. I'm giving you the notes the way they put it, not me. Though. That's how that goes. Because it literally just says Luke Skywalker, and then it says lightsaber swing hit radius. So, yeah. Okay, so Han Solo zooming in no longer sometimes displays the gun scope. Okay, then you got Emperor's Palpatine. This is a huge one people are talking about. Emperor Palpatine's shock troopers modified primary weapon damage to match Leia's honor guard's primary weapon damage over time. So what was happening is the T-21 blaster was always a 3-hit kill, if I remember correctly, and when it buffed, and then when you get the variant where you're a honor guard, they still would only they would still always 3-hit kill even if you got a headshot, I believe was what they were saying on the Reddit. And so this, I think, will make it a 2-shot. Either to make it a raw 2-shot to the body, or to make it a 2-shot if you hit one in the head and one in the body. So don't quote me on this, but I'm just saying speculative what I think is happening. Anyways, either way, it's a big buff, and it was definitely needed, especially for Heroes vs. Villains, because the Leia's bodyguards were insane, so good, and then Palpatine's were just trash. You know, it was almost like a curse to spawn as them. And then we have miscellaneous bug fixes. We have lighting, textures, audio, user interface, text, and collision fixes. Controls, legacy control schemes have had their layouts more clearly defined. Colorblind, they fix the scan pulse. For when you scan pulse people, it'll now show the whatever, a better version of it or whatever. PC only fixed the bug where players would lose functionality with an Xbox 360 controller after inviting a player to a private match at the start of the game. Okay, PC only air vehicle sensitivity lowered from 0.9 to 4.5 for easier mouse control. Achievements and trophies updated the text on impressive, most impressive, and survivor to clarify their requirements. Achievements and trophies playing the objective now properly awarded. I think that was the Team Deathmatch Blast version of the game, wouldn't give it to you, right? And then there was some other changes to survival, but it's just a bunch of little shit, and I don't play survival, so I'll leave the patch notes down in the description, though. Leave a like if you actually made it to the end of this video, and I'll do more long ones. Sorry it was so long.